don't mean to be chaotic in this video. It's just what my brain was doing. I'm staying. I'll be back. No. Hold on. I'm trying to frame this up perfectly, but y'all know my situation. I'm in a friend's home, and I don't have all the things that I normally would have. I don't even know if I own them anymore, is the thing. I was looking for a particular tripod that I've had for years, and I'm like, did I give that away? Did I throw? I know I didn't throw it away. I either gave it away or it's stored at my friend's house. Okay. That gives me so much anxiety, like not knowing. Anyway, it's gonna all be all right, as many of you have told me in the comments, and I appreciate. And I'm clean. I'm clean. I just put this on because I can't film with no clothes on. So I went through the comments today and I responded to every one of your comments, and there was so many encouraging, inspirational, uplifting, educational messages, and y'all are just awesome. I feel fortunate to just be in the company, even virtual company, since you and I we're face to face, but kind of not really, to be in the company of such wonderful people. Truly. What am I doing? I'll figure it out and I'll be right back. Okay. My apologies in advance for being at such a terrible angle. Nobody looks good from this angle. Nobody. But the mirror is there. I'm going to do my best to angle my face here so that I can talk directly to you. But I got to get my face together, So I put on, what did I put on? I put on my vitamin C, my hyaluronic acid. Ooh, you're sliding. My hyaluronic acid and my Alpine eye cream that I love. I love the feel of it. Like it makes my under eye feel yummy. So now I'm gonna put on, y'all remember this red concealer, or what is it? Creaseless corrector from Tarte. I'm gonna put this on and see if it's better, because oh girl, I done got it on my finger. I done got it on the outside here. I'm gonna use this little bit that's on the outside because we ain't wasting our stuff here. It's still too much, but we gonna make it do what it do. I'm getting ready to get out of here and go for a walk. Yes, I am back in Los Angeles, and I'm house sitting. I'm plant sitting. I'll show you these beautiful plants in this apartment a little bit later. So I hear an echo. There's an echo in here. I don't know if it's going to come through, but it's like I said. So, and I hear, when I told my dear friend whose place this is that I was coming back to LA, the response was, oh, I'm going to be out of town and I need somebody to house sit. Now, I'm going to say this, and he watches my channel. Hey, I'm not going to say his name because, I don't like to tell people business on the internet. Except for mine occasionally, but I don't tell all my business on the internet. He was like, yeah, I'm going to be out of town, and I need somebody to plant sit. And to be honest, I think he was just being nice to me, which I really appreciate, because this is a soft landing for my return to Los Angeles. I still got business to handle in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, and I intend to handle it. Take that however you need to take it. Planes still go to Playa. So much has happened, and it was affecting my health and well-being. So I decided, with the advice of trusted loved ones, I decided to come back to LA. It's firm ground that I know. It's like I know what all the stuff is. I know how all the stuff works. I don't like it all the time, but I know how it works and I know how to maneuver. Do I regret moving to Mexico? I don't at all. Given the same information beforehand, I would have made the same choices. So I can't be mad at myself for that. But obviously I did not intend for it to turn out the way that it has, and I don't like that it has turned out this way. But I'm trusting that everything will work out for my highest good. It always has. You know, all my life I look back at stuff that I thought was like, oh my goodness, this is horrible. And it may have been. It may have been something, you know, that I went through, and I look back now and I still don't look back on it fondly, you know, different things you go through. But I see the benefit in it. I see the silver lining. I see how it made me stronger if I let it. If I wallow, I'm looking for my Fenty powder right now. Look at that. Hold on. See, I ain't gonna. Okay, well, I gotta do it the way I do it. Okay, so look, this is how I look right now with the corrector on. This might be too red for me. I may need the orange. I've used orange in the past, and y'all remember that video where I told you I threw away that LA, I think it's LA Girl. It's either LA Girl or LA Colors orange correcting concealer. I found both of them right before I left and I still didn't throw them away. Like I never throw them away because they're such a great color and they work so well, but they make my eyes itch. So yeah, I guess I need, well, let's see. I'm gonna put my rest of my face together. Did I put on, oh, I forgot. See, I'm talking to y'all and I'm forgetting stuff. I forgot to put on my moisturizer. So I'm putting my moisturizer on the rest of my face, let it set, find my Fenty, put it on, then put my regular concealer on top and see what it looks like. And then I'm going to do something with this herb. It's a little damp in the back, but I didn't want it to get wet in the shower because it's chilly right now here in LA, especially having been in Playa for so long. And I don't want to be outside with a wet head and then be sick on Christmas. So, all right, let me put you back and I'll be back. Okay, all right, I'm back. So, today is Christmas Eve. And last Christmas Eve, I spent with my aunt in a big, beautiful house in Playa del Carmen. And this Christmas Eve is very different. Yeah, we were in a big, beautiful house. We went to dinner at the Grand Hyatt. I don't know if I was filming then. I don't know if I did a video on it, but it was great because in Mexico they celebrate Christmas Eve more than Christmas, and they have a lot of parties leading up to Christmas Eve, and then Christmas is like you just stay home and chill and you eat what you cooked the day before and all that stuff. This year is different, and different people have asked me, what are you doing for Christmas? And you know, they don't want me to be sad or just want to make sure that I have something to do or somewhere to go. And my intention was really just to lay around and do nothing. I've done too much. I've done too much the whole year, and I would have been okay with that. But I have a friend here who, if he lets me film him, I will. We've been friends we went through the Sanford Meisner acting program together back in 2002 to 2004. 9/11 had already happened, and I remember one of my classmates.
In October 2002, the U.S. Congress passed a resolution granting Bush the authority to use military force against Iraq.
I've known him for a long time. He is an integral member of my village. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. I had therapy yesterday, video therapy. My therapist She's wonderful, and she knows where all the bodies are buried. And she was advising me on something, some stuff that I haven't told you all yet, but no, I'm not pregnant. I had to say that. She advised me on some stuff, that I have to handle. I'll tell you eventually. I'm not ready to talk about it yet, but it's something going on that I gotta deal with. And she was advising me on that. And she always asks me before our session ends, did we address everything? Is there anything else before we part ways that you want to talk about? And I said, I feel like this year has been one in which I've gotten the opportunity to see how my people will rally around me and give back to me when I need it. And I don't often give folks that opportunity. I handle my stuff on my own. But this year I have not been able to, because so much chaos has taken place. I literally have to make myself, calm myself down to not hyperventilate every single day. There's a certain point, like just now when I was thinking, okay, I got a tripod that would be perfect for this situation. It's really bendy, and I can hang it from anywhere. I'm like, where is it? Was that in LA? Did I take it to Mexico with me? Yeah, I remember seeing it. And I had another one that was similar, not quite as bendy, but similar. Did I give that away? Is it and everything is like that. I don't know where stuff is. I got 4 suitcases over here, and I'm like, all right, well, I got to the airport. I ain't even told y'all this story yet. I got to the airport. How do I start? I got dry eyes, so I'm almost out of this. And I'm splashing it on my finger. I think these dry eyes are the result of taking that the estrogen blocker, that I was taking for a while. I haven't taken it for a year now, but this still persists. Anyway, I got to the airport, right? I decided to check my bags outside. Now, I had sent a box, a 49 and some ounces pound box to my friend's P.O. box in LA in advance. Whew, now I'm getting hot. Hot flash. So I did that. And I'm like, okay, that's 50 pounds out of these 2 suitcases. I should be okay. And all I bought were the little skincare products that you saw, right? So I'm like, okay, those are just some ounces. Listen, when I got to the airport and I decided, all right, rather than me try and wrangle 4 suitcases, I'll keep my 2 carry-ons with me, and I will check the 2 big ones. They're like pets. I'll check them outside here on the curb. Why was one of them? The limit was 50, all right, 50 pounds. One of my bags was 55. Okay, all right, I'll take some stuff out of there, and I had a little extra room in my carry-ons. I'm like, okay. Why was the other one 65 pounds? So the lady starts telling me, well, unless you can, shift some stuff around, that overweight one is going to be $150. I'm like, I'm not. I just paid $300 in overweight fees to get the stuff here from Mexico. I am not. I am not. I don't care if I just start, at this point, I'm down to my essentials that I really want to keep. So I was outside on the curb for it had to be close to a half hour. So I'm glad I get to the airport early. I made it work. And the woman was like, I don't know how you did it. I'm like, I had one carry-on suitcase that I could not even zip because it was so full, and I was hoping that things that I had put in there, because I put fragile things, electronics, jewelry, my jewelry box, which I haven't unpacked yet, and I hope it's okay. Like certain things that I didn't want to get broken by baggage handlers throwing stuff or whatever they do. I don't know. I kept with me. But now I've had to jam all this other stuff on top of it. So I'm like, okay, so I got that bag, you know, those 2 bags. I checked the other 2, didn't have to pay anything, thankfully. And I flew, I had a layover in Vegas. I got to Vegas to find out that my departing flight had been delayed by an hour. And I'm like, okay, well, I notified my friend Wiley, who was going to pick me up from the airport. And I'm like, Wiley, you know what? I'm not coming in for another hour now, which would have made it like close to 11 p.m. And I told her, I said, I understand if you don't want to leave your home and be out fooling with me at 11 p.m. And she's like, I got to stay up anyway, because she and the friend whose place this is had met up on my behalf. This is how I'm so blessed. I am so blessed. Even in the midst of this, they met up so that he could give her the key, so that when she picked me up, I got the key already. You know, this is LA. You know, you don't want to leave the key up under the mat, or you know, whatever. Somebody would be squatting in here by the time I get here. So yeah, so she's like, no, I gotta stay up and give you the key anyway. I might as well just come and get you. And she did, and she parked, and she came into the baggage claim. I didn't even realize you could still do that. And she came into baggage claim, and she helped me like with my bags. Like, you know, I pushed the cart, and she carried my roller bag, and we got to the car, and we got the stuff in there, and she drove me here, and we chit-chatted. She's small. She's got a really small frame. And so I was like, don't you try and bring those bags up the stairs, because I'm on the 2nd floor. I turn around and she done pulled one out. I'm like, girl, if you hurt yourself, I'm going to be like really upset. I'm going to feel so bad. So we got the suitcases up and parted ways and made sure she got home okay. I got here like, you know, 12:35, 12:45, something like that, between 12:30 and 1 o'clock. And so then, you know, I you know, just got my bearings and unpacked things that I needed for the evening, got myself cleaned up, because, you know, after traveling, who want to get into bed after they've been traveling all day? That's what it's been. So yesterday, I had therapy. I was supposed to see my accountant. I talked to my youngest sister, or rather, she talked to me. Jeannie. Some of y'all might know Jeannie from my mom's channel. I checked out mostly. I was just like, I don't want to do anything for 2 whole days. Wait, hold on. There's something in my eye. Forgot I was supposed to be putting on makeup. I'm trying to get up out of here because it is Christmas Eve, like I said before, and I want to pick up a few things before everything closes. I want to get some food items and just select some personal items that I need in here. Whenever I stay anywhere for a while, anywhere other than a hotel, like if I stay in an Airbnb or someone's home, I always buy white vinegar, because it's good for a lot of stuff. It's good if you've been cooking, and especially if you're in like a studio apartment. This is a 1-bedroom, and I'll give you a tour. It's really nice. Like, I gotta talk to my friend, although I know he's gonna watch this. I gotta talk to him, because there are certain touches that he did in here that I'm like, look at you go, look at you. You know, like there's this notion that a rented space, you can't make it your own. A lot of people believe that, and it's simply not true. It's not true. And honestly, you know, they tell you, okay, if you put holes in the walls, you're not going to get your deposit back. Da, da, da. But if you're going to live somewhere for 5 years or up, just, you know what, when you pay that deposit, consider it a payment for you to go in there and do whatever you want. We're not talking about damage, like, you know, tearing things up, but like, make it your own. That is your home. And, hold on. That is your home, and it should feel like home. I brought up the concept of home. Y'all hear how the ADHD brain works, right? This is something that I used to lie awake, hens lay, people lie in various ways. I used to lie awake as a child, and I remember first being aware of this at like 10 years old, when I would lie awake hoping for my brain to just like calm down and let me sleep. And sometimes I would get into trouble because we had a bedtime. Bedtime was 8 p.m. I don't know why I'm carrying you with me. I was carrying you with me so I can say, oh, okay, yeah. Dark circle's gone. Now we still got this little puffiness, but hopefully in time. I think that's because I slept on my face. Sometimes I wake up on my face. So hopefully that'll go away. But what was I talking about? Well, I know the story I was going to tell, but when I was about, I think I was 10 or 9, about to turn 10, something like that. And let me think, it was 1980. I remember being, with this one particular time, being in bed and being excited because it was about to be a whole new decade. I had never seen a new decade before. So I was 9. Yes, I was 9. So, and I remember the music that I was listening to. But sometimes I would get into trouble because we had a bedtime. Bedtime was 8 p.m. I don't care what's going on. You going to bed at 8 p.m. I went to bed at 8 p.m. till I was a sophomore. Y'all go over on my mama's channel and tell her how wrong that was. But here's the thing. I hated it. Like I could sometimes still hear my friends outside playing. Sometimes, like when it gets certain times a year, or when the clocks change or whatever, and it's still light outside, and I got to put my pajamas on and go to bed. Oh my God, I hated it. But looking back now, I'm like, okay, I got rest. I got the rest I needed. I'm sure my mom got whatever not alone time, but adult time she needed away from kids. So it worked out, and we were not sleeping in school, so that all worked out okay. But sometimes my brain would not cooperate with me being able to slow down and go to sleep. And it's only now that I look back and I know that's what it was. My sister Jeannie also has ADHD, and I remember times. She was on medication, and she could not slow down enough to go to sleep. Sometimes she would be so tired, but she just could not unless she was on medication. And to this day, she doesn't want to be on medication because of her experience with it. And I didn't know it was something that I needed. Well, I needed more now. Like I started seeing something was off. I didn't know what it was. But like perimenopause, I was like, what is happening? Like my brain doesn't feel like it's functioning the same. That's because it ain't. It's because it's not. And it's common now. It's common now that we know that it's not just little boys who won't sit still that have ADHD. I'm gonna take my ring off because I don't want to get hair gel on it. More and more women are being diagnosed at midlife. Ain't that wild? Ain't it wild? But yeah, why did I start? I don't even know why I started telling you this. But yeah, my brain jumps from thing to thing, and hopefully it comes back to the original thing. But sometimes it doesn't, and that's the way we do things on this channel. I did take my medicine. It should kick in any minute now. I had no idea why I was telling you that story, to be quite honest. I don't really like putting gel on top of gel on dry hair because it's gonna flake. Like if it's not gonna just start flaking, but if I touch it or whatever, it's gonna look like a snowstorm around here. I'm not going outside where it's chilly with wet hair. Ain't gonna happen. I think I was somehow telling you about Christmas and Christmas plans. I have a friend here who I've started so many conversations, and I'm going to try and bring them all full circle. All right. Look, if you follow me, if you still follow me at this point, put a flower in the comments just so I know. But I know I sound crazy. There's some days like this, and it might be the result of not taking my medication yesterday. But I'm going to try to bring it back full circle. I'm not crazy, I promise. I just sound like it. I'm going to get together with my friend tomorrow for Christmas because he wasn't doing anything either. And he's like, let's do something. I was like, I don't want to. I just want to lay down. And he's like, let's get Chinese food. Okay, all right. So we're both going to find a Chinese restaurant. Today, I'm going to just go walk and get some stuff. I was talking about white vinegar. That's one of the things I want to come back to. White vinegar is good for a multitude. I'm putting way too much gel in my hair. White vinegar is good for a whole bunch of things. It takes away scents, you know, like it'll absorb any kind of odor. You've been cooking, and especially if you're in a small place where it's an efficiency, and so you got a bed over here and the stove is right there. You can see it from the bed, so you don't have a door to close and keep out certain smells. I don't like to go to bed and wake up to food that I already ate. You know, like the scent of whatever it was. Yeah, it smelled good while I was cooking and eating, but now I'm trying to go to sleep, and I don't want to be smelling chili while I go to sleep. Vinegar, a cup of vinegar in that space, and the next morning it'll be gone. It might not help you that night, but the next morning that scent will be gone. Well, this is what we're gonna do today. All right. I still don't know how I got on that conversation, but the reason I mentioned my bedtime and getting into trouble and whatever is because I don't know how nobody diagnosed me with ADHD before 2021. Like it is so apparent. It is so apparent. Even in YouTube videos that I did before then. If you go back and watch them, you got two types of videos. You got either me calmly talking to you, you know, like standing still and trying to say every word, make every word enunciated properly, and, you know, just like, hello, my name is Nicole, da 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 da, you know, that kind of thing. And then you got this. Oh, there's, you know, the other place was really quiet. This place is all the way live. I'm hearing music. I heard somebody humming the other night. I couldn't tell if they were outside or downstairs. This is the chaos that I know. But I would lie awake at night as a child, trying to get my brain to calm down. And I would start off thinking about one thing. You know, it might be what happened at school that day, or what was going to happen tomorrow, or, you know, homework, or something my sister said, or something I got in trouble for, or, you know, whatever it was. And then I would end up thinking about, it would be like my brain was working like this conversation, you know. The next thing I know, I'm thinking about pyramids in Egypt, or the texture of my favorite blouse, or, you know, just something so just far from anything that occurred in my day-to-day life. And I would be like, how did I get here? And so I would try and retrace my steps. And sometimes I could, sometimes I couldn't. Candace had on a blue blouse in school today, and I like that blue, and it reminded me of the blue of the sky that time that I went to my grandmother's house, and then I met this new friend over there, and her bike was pink, and oh yeah, the pink was, you know, like, it's just, that's how it goes. So it doesn't make sense sometimes when we're talking and we are unmedicated, or a medication has not taken hold yet. I think it has the wrong name. Hyperactivity? Sometimes. Attention deficit? I don't know. I mean, it's only a deficit in the sense that it's hard sometimes to pay attention to what external forces say we should be paying attention to. I should be doing my taxes. You know what? I need to clean the top of the refrigerator. Like, clearly, I noticed that. I paid attention to it. You know, I see that it needs to be done. And I start doing it. But then something else happens that catches my attention. And I gotta go handle that. It's tough to prioritize. It's called executive dysfunction. The executive function in your brain, if you're neurotypical or you don't have ADHD or autism or, you know, some other neurodivergence, it's what enables you to say, okay, this is happening. I need to do A, B, C, D, E in order to address it. Like you somehow instinctually know that. Not so with ADHD. Not so. It's now or not now. Does it need to be addressed now? No? Okay, then it's not an emergency. We put it over there. This thing right here, this is bugging me, and it needs to be addressed right now. That thing that somebody else said was important, that exam I got to study for, that paper I got to write, that can wait. But right now, this sink needs to be clean. It's getting on my nerves. This sink is actually clean. But as an example, this is disturbing me. You know, it's making me feel all prickly. So I need to clean this sink right now. Yes, I know that thing is due, but this is what I have to do right now. It's like your brain and body cannot calm down enough to do this thing that you know it's important head-wise, but in your body, you feel like, I got to clean this sink because I cannot live in here with a sink that looks like this. It sounds nuts. I know how it sounds. This is not a whining or whatever. I'm just explaining to you because I've done well. I've done well. Some people, their brains are chaotic, completely chaotic in a way that doesn't work well with society from the time they arrive on the scene, like as children. So when you see children that got ADHD, they can't sit down, they can't, you know, they're over here. Oh, they bad, they talk too much. I got that a lot. I talk too much. But I got good grades, you know? So it's like, what do we do with that? Okay. I would just whiz through everything and, hold on. I'm supposed to be getting ready. Give me a minute. I've been standing here talking to you this whole time with no pants on. You ain't even know it, did you? So I'm going to put on my Fenty overalls that I love, and I'm hoping I didn't shrink them in the dryer at the last place. I did laundry. I may have. I don't know. We'll see. I would whiz through my work at school and then just start talking to folks. And so then I would be told to be quiet. And because I wanted to be a good girl, I didn't want, you know, I didn't mean to be disruptive. I was just like, I'm done. Like, you know, what you mean sit there quietly? Like, give me something to do. My brain needs things to do. I need like 3 things to do at all times. Really. Then I would start talking to people that would keep them from, okay, they did shrink a little, but not too bad. All right, a little bit. I love these overalls. You know what? I might have to stretch them a little bit. See, man, I'm so mad at myself. I forgot they were in the dryer, and I left them in a little too long, just a little bit. They're so thick they would have taken 2 days to dry on their own. So I meant to dry them just a little bit. I'm gonna stretch these bad boys. We're gonna get this crotch back. You know, the overall, especially if you're tall. Look at this. I got all these. I put on the wrong bra for today. I put on a sports bra, and I didn't know what top I was gonna wear, and then I decided to wear this top. But look, I am not going in another suitcase trying to find more clothing. So back to school. I didn't mean to be disruptive, you know. So I know that. Oh Lord. I gotta wear a jacket. I ain't got no butt no more. I've lost some weight. I have no butt. I gotta do some squats because this is not This ain't working for me. Somebody gonna take my
Want to see the rest of this video? Check in tomorrow. It's Christmas Eve, and I gotta stop editing sometime. See you tomorrow.